Good afternoon. My name is Jason Dunn, and this is my presentation for Case 5-2. This case involves Johnson & Johnson. You might recognize the name. They make Tylenol, Band-Aids, surgical and medical equipment, everything like that. This case goes into detail about a situation that happened a few years ago where in Chicago someone had put arsenic in unopened bottles of Tylenol that were being sold in retail stores around the area. In response to that, Johnson & Johnson then recalled all Tylenol in all stores from every state around the country. People were very upset about that. When I say people, I mean financial advisors, investors that are directly related to that company. Considering they lost over $100 million by doing that, they thought that they should just recall the Tylenol in Chicago itself. But Johnson & Johnson, their mission is to be very ethically aware and community, society based. They take their actions and their impact on the community very seriously. So they felt it was right to recall all Tylenol just to make sure that this isn't going to happen in other places as well, considering 6 people actually died from this. So the question is, do you think it was right that they did that? And since they weren't able to, figure out exactly where this was happening, where this arsenic was getting put in, they don't know if it happened in the factories or if it was just some rogue employee or somebody basically doing some type of terrorism activity in Chicago. Since they weren't able to actually locate the source of this, they decided, we're going to take all Tylenol off the shelves everywhere. And I agree with that, because if you can't exactly tell where it's coming from, then you don't know if it might pop up somewhere else and cause more deaths. So I definitely agree with that. I also get, the financial advisors, the fund managers, investors, everything like that. They're upset. They lost $100 million. They say, we'll just pull it off from Chicago. I get all that. But at some point, you got to put the money aside. I promise you, by doing this, you're going to increase the brand awareness, increase loyalty to the brand, and in the long run, make more money because people are going to trust that brand even more. So I think it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a necessary one. I believe they did the right thing. It's something that I would, especially they're staying true to their mission statement. They're staying true to their beliefs, and it's not just window dressing like the text says. They're not just trying to sell you on the idea of the company. This actually is the company. So I agree 100% with Johnson & Johnson. I would like to think if I was in the CEO of that company or a high-ranking executive that I would make that same decision. And I would have to, explain to our advisors, investors that, hey, you got to go with us on this. In the long run, it'll be better for us if we do this. Because if we just pulled them out of Chicago and then it turns out a couple weeks later, this is in California too, this is in New York, and we got more deaths, that's even worse. So it's good to go ahead and take it all out, the whole country while we can, make sure we nip this in the bud immediately, and then we limit the damage, for lack of a better term. So I agree with that. I think they made the right decision. And the other question is, would I want to work for a company like this? I mean, I think that's kind of a dumb question, honestly, because who wouldn't? Obviously, I'm going to make plenty of money working for this company because it's a national, global brand. So there's no worry about that. And if we're actually going to take care of the community and we're passionate about that, I know they're going to take care of me as well. So absolutely, I want to work for them. There's no question about that at all. Like I said, I agree with everything that they did. And it's just, it's actually refreshing to see that a real national big corporate brand actually took this stance and owned up to it. Like, this is our fault. We're going to make sure this never happens again. And they actually stay consistent with their mission statement and what they actually tell people. So I applaud Johnson & Johnson for this. I agree with what they did. And yes, I would absolutely love to work for a company like that. And I think more companies should take a note out of their book and, kind of base what their community actions and their ethical standards are based on Johnson & Johnson. So I applaud them. They're doing things right, in my opinion, and I'm sure that they'll continue to enjoy much continued success. This has been my presentation for Case 5-2. Thank you so much.